Here's a pervasive publishing myth that I want to debunk. My name is Mary Kole with Good Story Company and Mary Kole Editorial, and that is that agents and editors will fix your book after you get a deal. They are agents. A lot of agents say they are editorial agents. They are literal editors working for the publisher. Unfortunately, you cannot hand them a fixer-upper and say, don't you see the promise in this idea? Haven't I done a great job for the first 50 pages? Can you help me get the rest of it up to snuff? There is no more time, energy, bandwidth for gatekeepers to find and polish a diamond in the rough unless there is just something so undeniable about either your premise, your voice, your platform. That happens a lot. Celebrities want to write a novel, they want to add it to one of their verticals for their business, and they get a lot of help from book doctors and other people that a publisher might bring in to get that book across the finish line. But unless you are a household name, I am not sure that you are in that category, and that's okay. You cannot manufacture that out of thin air. You can start building a platform, of course, but you cannot manufacture millions and millions of social media followers out of thin air. So we are probably not talking about that thing in your case. So you cannot bring a book to someone and just say, see the promise of it, see the potential, let's fix it up together, right? Because agents are not unpaid writing coaches and developmental editors. They like to see things that are basically submission ready. They will have feedback, they will work with you on a revision, but they are not going to spend hour and hour, month and month, maybe even year and year working on a project with you because they don't get paid until your book sells. And at a certain point, that return on investment might no longer be there for them. Editors do edit. That is in their very literal job description and title. However, they also will have a very hard time convincing their teams, convincing their house to spend real money on a book that hasn't demonstrated that you can land the plane successfully. Even if it's a partial, partials can be really, really difficult to sell. It is stronger and more compelling to have a complete manuscript that is executed beautifully rather than to try and bring them a fixer-upper. And partials for a debut author are almost unheard of for selling a project. So that's not something you can depend on. They will take a great book and they will work to make it better, but they will not take a book full of plot holes or a book that's half-baked and help you bring it across the finish line. Publishing is the thing that happens beyond the finish line. I'm not just saying this because I work as a freelance editor and I want you to hire me. I have absolutely enough to do with myself. I have no skin in the game of whether you choose to submit your strongest, most wonderful, most fully realized, most fully baked work. I want to see you succeed, and I don't want you going into the publishing industry thinking, I can just give them a 7 out of 10, they'll make it a 10 out of 10, and then we'll ride off into the sunset together, because unfortunately, nobody's got time for that, not in this climate, and that is frankly your job to demonstrate that you have a publishing-worthy project and a project that you have taken across the finish line yourself. It's not their job to come and to help you, alas.